there is a really great organization that is called Think of Us. You can go and Google for Think of Us. It's thinkof-us.org, and it is a nonprofit that kind of started as a commitment to action at the Clinton Global Initiative University by a gentleman named Sixto, S-I-X-T-O, Sixto Cancel, who is a former foster youth who created this organization called Think of Us, and they had this idea for a hackathon to bring some of the people in the open source and the hacking community together to solve some of the fundamental problems that youth and families have when dealing with, people who are in foster care. The foster care community has to deal with antiquated technology that was sometimes written in the 80s or the 90s. You can lose foster kids because you don't, or foster youth because you don't have the same kind of devices and mobile innovation that we see with startups all the time. So while people are trying to put together, video with 4 people and new startups, the foster youth are failing. So they put together this technology hackathon, and my friend Keisha Rogers gave me a call. She had been on my podcast before and said, let's see if we can get some heavy hitters to come by. So we put out the Avengers bat signal, to mix my metaphors a little bit, and we brought in folks from Slack and Clef and Stack Overflow and Microsoft and said, let's all go to the White House and spend a couple of days working on this, and let's hack foster care together. So we went and we spent a couple of days over there with the Department of Health and Human Services at the behest of the White House, and it was pretty amazing. There were probably a couple of hundred people there, and we locked ourselves in some rooms overnight and basically fueled ourselves with soda and caffeine and candy, and we came up with a bunch of different things, and you can see it all actually on YouTube. They've both the kickoff, the presentations, what we're going to do, as well as the resulting hacks. And hopefully those will be then posted up on GitHub, and we'll get to continue to work on them. So the point is, get involved. And if you're thinking, I want to get involved in open source, maybe you could be doing something more significant than a fart app.
Probably, yes. Probably good to at least raise above significance of a fart app, at the very least, which I'm convinced you did.
I bring up the fart app thing because if you go and search for foster care in the App Store, you're not going to find as much things as you will find fart apps.
Yeah.
And I do also, famously now, get to hold the dubious honor of having said fart app in the White House on a live stream.
All right, so you were in the White House. Obviously, that's a big part of this. I don't know, like explain the importance around an event like this taking place in the White House. I mean, just that alone kind of elevates it a bit.
Right. I think that, certainly with anything that is involving the White House, there's a certain amount of, positioning and posturing. But what this was a declaration that this was important. Right. That bringing technology and the foster care system together is a statement. So when they collaborated and brought all of these organizations together to do this, by doing it in the White House and by doing it in this formal way, it was a statement that this matters. And I think that's what's important.
You really bring up a great point. I mean, we were just talking earlier about how, the app boom is over, just give up. But I mean, what we were really talking about is give up if your dream is to come up with something like a fart app or something that's just going to make you buckets of money and you're going to buy a house in San Francisco and, be famous. Like if that's your goal, you're not going to get it. But if you want to create something, if you want to, use what you've learned and really make a difference, then you can still do that. And that's why I love talking to you, because you have some really interesting ways that people can really do that.